was always a big event for North Devon especially. We'd done all the other South Devon, finished up here. It used to be the main fair in North Devon, and we lived at Dalton and we travelled over and back every day to work all day and after the night. It was good. Hundreds of people turned up, and I think the Wednesday was sheep, I think, Thursday cattle, and Friday horses. It was one way or the other. They had their separate days, and we stood right at the entrance. There's a pub there on the corner, still a pub. We were the first stall on the way in. We had 18 foot, and it was a sweet stall. We had the van parked behind because we made toffee apples, which was the big draw of the day, and it was busy all day and at night. But the evenings on that fair, we didn't take money for about an hour because with that many people, we just stood in front of the stall to keep them off because it wasn't safe. We had big glass jars with sweets in, and the stall was moving. You know, that many people, it was just. And for an hour, when it was really busy, you couldn't take money. But we did take money in the end in there. I've still got 8 of the jars now. I keep them down in my shed down the back, empty. But they're old Victorian ones, because they're handed down from my grandparents down through. So I wouldn't part with them. Just stuck in the shed. But it used to be good. I shouldn't say it, but every night all the travellers, the fair people, including my father, went in the pub about 9:30, and they were kicked out at 10, I think, in those days. But they all vanished to the pub. That was a regular thing. And the Cohens with the boxing booth, they used to go, they all went in there together. So we had to stay on the stall and work. Kids. But the year that it blew away, everything, stalls all blew to pieces and everything. The only thing I remember about it is there were hundreds of table tennis balls, you know, ping pong balls. And God, lovely, I could find ping pong balls. We didn't know where they come from, so they're just blowing around. So you couldn't buy the things at the time, you know, after the war. And to get these ping pong balls, I think I found a fortune. But, no, it was good. Phil Strong used to stand outside the station down there, and he used to sell, I forget what his elixir was called, a medicine. They always used to come in every year and buy 2 or 3 bottles of this medicine because it cured everything. He used to get a terrific pitch. He's shouting and going. He'd come down from London, and there he was selling these bottles of medicine. And they went back regular every year, all these farmers and that, to buy this medicine. Wonderful stuff. Never forget it. And chocolate, used to pick a straw. They were just down the end there and never won anything. Well, people did. They'd win a shilling. It cost them a shilling for a ticket. And he'd say, number 13, you win £10. But he only gives you £1 because you'd only won £1, but he gives the impression you'd won a lot of money. You know, he say that one and just hand you a shilling or whatever yours was. And people would think, oh, he's paying it big money. Well, he wasn't. He was just saying he was, but he was giving, and you weren't going to argue because there was your ticket. Oh, it was, as a kid, kept us going. Yeah, we were down the old site where the street was closed, and it was really big. We were outside that pub there, but the stalls, the cheap jacks and things went from there up to where you turn up. Oh, what's it? Joy Street, Bear Street. It was cheap jacks from there right down as far as the station. In the actual fair itself, we were classed as in the fair because we were in the first ones in, because the road was closed, nothing could go through there. And I say we were the first in there, and all down through was cheapjacks. These kids, I used to love going down, watching them, seeing what they were doing to make money. That same year, my brother's 3 years younger than me, so he was only about 9 or 10. And one of the stalls, they had problems with staff and things because of the weather. And he worked on one of the stalls, one of the dart stalls, just took the money. He was only a kid. And another night he was there, and he come up, they give him some money to play the game, whatever the game was. And only little boy, he's won a prize. And they used to give him a prize. Of course, they knew him, give him a prize. He'd go away with it. Anyone could win. Then he'd come back later and give them his toys back. And they used to pay him to do that. And people think, oh yes, if he can win, anyone can win. And everyone had a ticket. Oh, there was some fun and games. But the Monday nights before the fair, we used to go down. Dodgem track was open for a party, and dancing and singing and everything. So everyone used to be set up by Monday night and ready for the week. And used to go to the Monday nights, and it was like a party. Kids used to love it, to go on the Dodgems and playing. It was different life altogether in the day. The change from that to the fair down there, to me there's no comparison. I don't even bother to go down there now. It's a different game. It was the Dodgems, Speedway track, Noah's Ark, waltzers, that type of stuff, helter skelter thing. There was one gallopers that you see around still, but most of the lorries were, big scammo lorries, and they ran the power. We never had a generator, so we always used to contact. You couldn't buy generators that you can now, so we used to give them so much a week, and they ran our lights for us on the stall. Whoever was near us, we used to run the cables, and they connect up and pay them so much a week. But no, it was hard work. A lot of the rides I see that now, they drive in one piece and just unfold. But in those days, everything had to be lifted. And as I got older, I used to try to help, because when that Noah's Ark was finished and you were picking up, if you helped, as the floorboards come up, people used to lose their money, and you could first come, first served. Who found it, kept it. It was always picking up after they'd finished, money lying around. Yeah, Barnstaple was the main one around here anywhere. And it was a big thing to all these villages. I said, we were brought up we used to go to all the fairs and shows. We could get in races and everything. But everywhere, I enjoyed that as a kid, because everywhere we went was their big day. Barnstaple Fair, bit of a regatta. The bit of a regatta was too long, and it didn't come up to Barnstaple because it was stretched out too long, and too many days. You couldn't make money. And down here, Bren's, the butchers, Bren's hotels, super people. They always supported the fair. Percy Bren. He always brought his kids to the fair and spent money well, bought loads of sweets off us. But all the travellers all summer made a lot of money in South Devon. Food was rationed, you couldn't get it hardly anywhere, but you could always get meat in Barnstaple, Butcher's Row. And Percy Bren was the best one. And as long as you had the pennies, you could get all the best steak and everything. Been travelling all summer, making money, and they used to spend it. But Percy used to go back and spend money in the fair. He always did. Very generous man. That he take it and keep it. He spent. We always done all right of him because he's come back, had loads of sweets for his own family.